You ever have one of those mornings where something just feels off? It wasn't like I woke up with some grand realization or anything, but when I stepped out into my backyard that Tuesday morning to grab my coffee, something didn't sit right. The birds were doing their usual thing. The neighbor's dog was barking at thin air like always, in my garden, for once, actually looked pretty decent. But there was this nagging feeling, that sense like you've forgotten something, but you just can't put your finger on it. And then it hit me. I glanced toward the back corner of my yard, where my trusty washing machine had stood for the past 3 years. It wasn't there. Gone. Not just moved. Mind you, was saw. Like, someone had waved a magic wand and made it disappear. It was there 1 minute, and the next, it was like it had never existed. Now, I'm Darius Jackson. Yeah, I know, I said not to use my last name, but hey, this is my real name. I'm a 34-year-old software engineer who prides himself on noticing the little things. I see when my neighbor Mrs. Chin changes her garden gnomes, when the mailman starts wearing a new shirt, or when the corner store switches their bread suppliers. So how in the world did I miss someone hauling off a 200-pound washing machine from my own backyard? It just didn't make sense. I tried to convince myself that maybe I had arranged for someone to pick it up, but that didn't feel right. I definitely would have remembered something like that. Maybe it was repossessed? No, impossible. I bought it outright from a friend moving across the country. I mean, I'm a pretty meticulous guy. So maybe it grew legs and walked away. Okay, now I was just getting ridiculous. I spent the next hour retracing my steps, trying to figure out when exactly my washing machine had decided to take a leave of absence. The last time I'd used it was Sunday night. Threw in a load of work clothes, sat down to binge watch some Netflix, and that was it. Monday, I was at work all day, buried in code that refused to cooperate. So, somewhere between Sunday night and Tuesday morning, my washing machine had vanished. The weirdest part? There was no sign of forced and Trino tire tracks in the dirt, no broken lock, not even a stray bolt or hose left behind. It was like it had just evaporated. I started wondering if I was losing my mind. Maybe stress had gotten to me, and I had imagined the whole washing machine thing. Maybe I had actually been going to the laundromat like some kind of applianceless peasant. But then I saw the concrete pad where the machine used to sit, with those rust stains and little indentations where the feet had been. Those marks don't lie. I hadn't imagined it. Someone had stolen my washing machine. But who the hell steals a used appliance from someone's backyard? And more importantly, how did they manage to do it without me hearing a thing? I called my buddy Jerome. He works security 2 streets over, and if anyone could help figure out what the heck was going on, it was him. Plus, Jerome has this uncanny ability to solve mysteries. It's almost like he should have been a detective. Yo, D-Man, what's good? He answered, sounding way too awake for it to be barely 9 a.m. Jerome, I need your help. Someone jacked my washing machine. He paused for a second, and then his signature laugh started a chuckle that built into a full-blown cackle. Man, did you just say someone stole your washing machine? Like the whole damn thing. I wasn't laughing. I'm serious. I went out back this morning, and it's just gone. No note, no explanation. Just vanished. All right. I'm coming over. Give me 20 minutes. While I waited, I decided to do some digging myself. I walked around my entire property, looking for any clues. My house is on a decent-sized lot on Elmwood Drive, and there's a privacy fence separating the backyard from the alley. The gate's got a solid lock on it, but when I checked, everything seemed normal. That's when I noticed something that made my blood run cold. The back door, the one leading from the kitchen to the patio, had scratches around the lock. Fresh scratches. Definitely hadn't been there before. Someone hadn't just stolen my washing machine if he'd been inside my house. Jerome showed up 20 minutes later, looking like he was ready to solve a crime. He glanced at my face and immediately knew something was off. Darius, you look like you've seen a ghost, man. What happened? I led him to the back door and showed him the scratches. He whistled low. These are definitely from lockpicks, man. Someone who knew what they were doing. This isn't some amateur trying to jimmy the lock with a credit card. That's when it hit me. This wasn't just some random theft. Someone had specifically targeted my house, broken in, and then removed my washing machine without me noticing. But why? Why go through all that trouble for a 3-year-old Whirlpool? If they were going to break in, why not take something valuable? I've got a 65-inch TV, a gaming setup worth probably $2,000. Hell, there's usually cash on the kitchen counter. But they took my washing machine? Jerome scratched his chin. What if they weren't breaking in to steal it? What do you mean? What if they were breaking in to saw it? What if someone's been doing their laundry at your house, and when you got suspicious or took it away, they freaked out? I almost laughed at how absurd the idea was, but then the more I thought about it, the more it made twisted sense. I travel for work sometimes, leaving my house empty for days at a time. My schedule is pretty predictable: 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the office. Someone could have figured out my routine and been using my house as their personal laundromat. But I never had the machine removed. It was there Sunday night, gone Tuesday morning. Either someone stole it, or maybe someone moved it and is planning to bring it back. We spent the next hour scouring my house, looking for signs that someone had been inside. We didn't find much, just subtle clues like the coffee maker being moved slightly, crumbs near the toaster, and the laundry detergent being almost empty, even though I was pretty sure it had been half full last time I used it. That's when we heard the unmistakable sound of someone pounding on my door, followed by a doorbell ringing that could have cracked glass. Whoever it was, they weren't playing around. "You expecting anyone?" Jerome asked, raising an eyebrow. "Nope," I muttered, moving to the front window to peek through the blinds. What I saw outside made me question whether I was still asleep. There, standing on my porch, was a woman who looked like she stepped straight out of a Karen meme compilation. Mid-50s, with that bright, bottle blonde hair and a floral dress that looked like it was designed by someone who'd never seen a flower in real life. She was clutching a laundry basket like it was the Holy Grail. But the most alarming thing was the look on her face. She was furious, red-faced, wild-eyed, like she was about to explode. "Jerome," I whispered, "you need to see this." He joined me at the window, his grin spreading wide. "Oh man, I think we just found our mystery laundry thief." The pounding on the door reached a fever pitch. "Darius Jackson, open this door right now." I froze. "Jackson?" My name was Washington. Who the hell was this woman? "Open up," she screamed. "I know you're in there." Jerome looked at me, his eyes wide. "Friend of yours?" "Never heard that voice in my life," I said, moving toward the door. I opened it. And then the floodgates opened. "I know what you did," she shrieked, launching into a tirade about how I stole her washing machine. I stood there, utterly confused. "Your washing machine?" "Yes, the one in your backyard. You took it. You can't just take it away without warning." I had no idea who this woman was. Turns out, she was Dorothy Henderson, living on Oak Street 4 blocks away. And apparently, she had been using my washing machine for months without my permission. "I've never met you," I said, trying to stay calm. "That washing machine was mine. I don't know where it went." Her face turned crimson. "Your backyard? You can't just take my machine." That's when Jerome stepped in. "Ma'am, are you admitting you've been trespassing on this man's property for months to do your laundry?" Her eyes narrowed. "What's your problem, young man?" Jerome shot back. "Theft of services. You've been stealing his utilities, and now you're trying to steal his property." She stared at him like he was speaking in another language. "I'm not stealing anything. I just needed to do my laundry." "By breaking into my house?" I asked, pointing to the scratches on the door. "You never put up a sign," she said, like it was a perfectly reasonable explanation. By now, the whole neighborhood had gathered. Mrs. Chun peeked over her fence. Mr. Rodriguez came out for the third time to check his mail, and even the teenagers who usually skateboard down the street had stopped to watch the show. This was getting absurd. "You've been trespassing on my property and using my washing machine," I said. "That's theft." Dorothy, however, wasn't backing down. Instead, she doubled down, claiming she was the victim. "You're discriminating against me because I'm white." And just like that, she pulled the race card. Jerome, bless him, stayed calm. "Ma'am, we're ganging up on you because you're admitting to breaking into this man's house to do your laundry." "That's exactly what a racist would say," Dorothy screeched. The neighbors were practically in stitches at this point, and Jerome just shook his head. "Lady, you're not of white, Tim. You're a criminal." What happened next? Dorothy tried to threaten me with the police, tried to sue me for my own washing machine. But all that did was dig her deeper into a hole of lies. We ended up getting the machine back, and the police got involved. Turns out, Dorothy had a history of bizarre behavior and disputes with neighbors over laundry. It wasn't just about one machine, it was about her entitlement to use other people's property, whenever she wanted. As the situation escalated, I realized something. If Dorothy had just asked to use the washing machine, this whole mess could have been avoided. Instead, she took everything, my property, my time, my patience and threw it all away because she thought she could. At the end of the day, though, justice was served. Dorothy faced serious charges. She tried to play the victim, but her own actions proved her guilty. And now? Well, now I'm just enjoying my coffee, my washing machine's back in place, and I know the system actually worked for once. But hey, what do you think? Was I wrong for not just GIVing her the machine? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.